Do you ever go to bed early with the hope of finally getting that coveted 8 hours of sleep and finally wake up refreshed just to wake up feeling worse? Well, despite Link getting an additional 876,000 hours on top of the recommended 8, is lacking that coveted refreshing wake up. So he is feeling especially lazy this playthrough, meaning he will not once be allowed to use stamina, but being even more slothful, refuses to use any sort of glitches as well, including techniques like whistle running and also banning amiibos because he can. Will lazy Link be able to save Zelda? Many creators have already had their hand at this challenge, however they all have one thing in common with their runs. They all use a variety of glitches in order to bypass what seem to be impossible paths, as well as almost none of them even attempt any of the divine beasts. So today, we will both not use glitches, as well as take down as many divine beasts as possible, some of which gently reminding me of the definition of insanity. So welcome to my 10-hour journey of beating The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild without stamina and without glitches. The Great Plateau starts off strong with an immediate challenge with a wall for lazy Link to ascend. So take it away, Live Val on both YouTube and Twitch. Stamina, so we can't do that. Wait, this might actually be way easier than I thought. Oh, that was so easy! Wait, let me do that again. Yeah, that was way easier than I expected, and from here, there isn't really much challenge in the beating of the Great Plateau other than the bomb shrine in which we must first scale this crumbled wall, jump across this guardian's leg, and then 2 shield surfs to cross the last few large gaps. Skipping everything else due to being really easy, we unlock absolutely nothing of importance, and now it's time for our first real obstacle, getting off of the Great Plateau. We have now beat the Great Plateau. But let's go with my first thought. This is gonna sound crazy, but if you land in water without pressing any direction, you won't use stamina. You'll float in the water, but stamina wheel will not show up. So maybe the currents of the water can put Link down into a spot to where he will land on shore. You see what I'm cooking up? I think it stopped. Could you use Cryonis? Wait, you might be onto something. Wait a minute. I'm so focused on not using runes from my other playthrough. You might be onto something. Yes. Oh, we can put it at a weird angle. Ah, no, I missed. We're almost at the bottom. Believe it or not, despite water consuming stamina, water is our best friend right now. No, I didn't do that. I wish I could see through the waterfall, but I can't. I made the jump. And we are on land. Okay, wait, okay. We're not done yet. You know what we could do? We could go over to that shrine and nab that as a checkpoint, because then we'll have solid ground to save on, and it'll take longer. Nice, now we have a checkpoint because we have solid ground to land on. Once at the shrine, we travel back for a leaf, travel back to the shrine, break the wall, and awaken the wind our way out of here, finally getting off the Great Plateau without using stamina once. Honestly, I expected more of a challenge with this one, only around 50 minutes to do all of this. But before we start our first Divine Beast, I decided that we were too slow. So what better than a horse? And due to love for Quincy, the horse from my normal Hylian playthrough, we reset over and over, spending more time resetting trying to get Quincy than we did resetting to get off the Great Plateau. Yeah. We got a Quincy. Now we just gotta tame her. Since Quincy is a multicolored horse, we can tame her without stamina being required, and this time naming her Da Quincy after consulting chat. There we go. Da Quincy? So I specifically chose this Divine Beast first due to a powerful piece of gear being rewarded to us from the quest line. And trust me, it's not the item you are expecting. The first Divine Beast we will take on. We will be facing the despised Thunderblight first purely for one piece of gear to aid us in only one singular moment later on. The ride to the Gerudo and the Bazaar aren't really worth time covering. In fact, there isn't much to talk about until it's getting the female armor, which is only doable due to the existence of ladders. Then skipping ahead some more, we encounter a wall on our way to the Yiga hideout. Maybe we just got a shield surf. Oh, we don't need to do anything at all. Fantastic. Yes, the solution is to just throw Link at the wall for long enough in this corner until he finally goes up without using stamina. Very innovative, I know. The hideout itself was a little more challenging than usual, but was done on my second attempt. And yes, I grabbed all of the sweet loot on my infiltration. Only babies grab it on the way out. What? Ooh, a sapphire. As I was saying, now we challenge the mighty Naboris and we are inside. And while this whole dungeon is possible, there are two small threats with this challenge. Spinning devices as well as its tail. I will elaborate on that one later, but I was prepared. I was more so lucky with having an iron sledgehammer in my inventory, so using magnesis, I can spin any spinny things without using stamina. The one on the second floor, however, I did use a chest instead. Now as for how I got up here, stasis, that's it. Stasis and walk. Okay, I lied, it wasn't just stasis, and once it's done, you'll be able to get up without needing to run. And with all of the terminals being possible, now it's just time to fight the Blight. I know. Ooh, and I'm faster. You know what? I'm just gonna wait for you to... What? Ooh, and I'm faster. Oh, that was so easy. This is the easiest Thunderblade has ever... Oh my goodness. Alright, 1 of 4 Divine Beasts down. And for Urbosa's Fury, we'll never use it since it needs stamina. And now we finally have a good sword and shield in the form of the Scimitar of the Seven and the Daybreak Shield. So with Naboris lazily calmed, we can now move on to our second Divine Beast. One thought to be impossible by everyone I've seen and asked. But I have an ace up my sleeve, Varuta. But before we can get to how I defeat it, we must make it to the domain, which, well, it was really easy. We did fall a few times due to our slowness, but it was relatively easy to make it there. And with the quest started, we were tasked with going up to a Lionel and stealing its shock arrows. And if it wasn't obvious, scaling a mountain without stamina isn't quite doable, or at least not worth our time. So once again, I was prepared for this, as I bought all of the shock arrows I needed at Gerudo Town before even departing to save the Zora. And fortunate for us, Nintendo was kind enough to not force the Lionel aspect of the quest down our throats, letting us go straight to the fighting of Ruta. Now there's one tiny problem. In order to fight back, Lazy Link would have to ride up a waterfall, and in doing so, his paraglider is forcefully pulled out of his pocket and his stamina wheel appears, meaning there is no way for us to damage it. Or do we? Recall back when I said that there was a powerful item that we would require during the Val Naboris quest to aid us? The item of choice was the duplex bow. The bow is used by the Yiga foot soldiers. Using this bow from Sidon's back, I am able to arch my shock arrows in a way to hit each of the 4 glowing orbs without having to ascend any of the waterfalls once, hitting all 4 of its weak points and letting us board the Divine Beast without ever once using stamina. Its innards proved to be much more of a challenge to do actually, mainly regarding the terminal on the trunk and inside of where its brain would be if it was a real elephant. Great. Because you can't climb this, so there's no way of accidentally using stamina, so I think we just gotta get lucky. Because we were able to get up... Well, oh, yep. Oh, yeah! So we are doing better than everyone else who's done this challenge. 3, 2, 1. And we are on top of the Ruta. Yippee! Ow! Alright, last terminal. That was not that bad at all. Lazy Link, with the persistence of a lunatic, which I guess isn't really lazy. Anyways, we can now fight Water Blight. But first, I hate to bring up the graph, but only 8.5% of you guys are subscribed. I've seen some people do this graph when it's like 50%, which I think is stupid. But if you enjoy, why not subscribe? It would help a small channel who's doing way too many challenges at one time and to keep track of. Okay, back to Water Blight. Yeah, I know, yada yada. We're gonna have to be careful at the start of the second phase to make sure that we don't start underwater. Okay, now we have to make sure we do not leave this platform at all. Otherwise, we'll be swimming, and swimming is bad, and bad is not good. Please don't be near me. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, whew, it didn't hit me. Easy peasy. Finally, an ability we can use. Mipha's Grace will be vital for some parts later with Hyrule Castle due to our slow nature of Lazy Link, and with the Zora saved from their endless reign, there is yet another Divine Beast we can calm. By far, the hardest Divine Beast for Lazy Link to calm. And no, it has nothing to do with the beast itself, but before that, first we must make it to Goron City, and it being on the side of a volcano does not help in the slightest with getting there. An ancient arrow, sure, yeah, thanks. Go get him, Goro. Oh, we comboed him! Okay, so how do we get up this?
Nice!
Ah, see, that was easy. Please don't catch on fire. No! Oh. Yeah, there's no way for us to scale this walls, but we can just go back a good bit and take a higher path, which makes it a lot easier and lets us skip over it. Then we give this man lizards for his chest piece. Then we're at Goron City and purchase a pair of heat-resistant pants. But alas, here comes what felt to be impossible. Saving Yonobo from the cave. The massive fiery lakes of lava separating us from the enclosure did not seem crossable by any means, and even if you were to get to his cave, there is a massive gap between us and the island that has the cannon in order to break him free. All of which seemed impossible to do without the use of glitches. But since when has something seeming impossible ever stopped me? Here's the plan. Not too far off from the mines, there is an abandoned minecart that we can use magnesis to get over to a platform in order to stasis launch Lazy Link across the gap. Which, as simple as it sounds, well, it was not. Anytime I failed or Link fell into the lava, the minecart would despawn and we would need to reload the save in order to try again. And try again we did for 45 minutes just to save the ball boy from being stuck inside of the inconveniently placed cave. Ah, yes, okay, we made it across. Yes, we finally made it across, and thankfully the terrain here is forgiving enough to where we can bring the minecart all the way to Yonobo's hideaway and across from where the cannon is. And the cherry on top, we only had one shot at this spot every single time we made it here. And so we got back there again until finally. Oh, yes. Okay, wait. Alright, with Yonobo finally freed, all we need to do is fast travel back to Goron City and make that stasis launch one last time, and now we can finally continue the Varudania questline, which compared to saving Yonobo was a total cakewalk up until the boarding process. Perfectly timed. Oh, what? No, I did. Ah, now there's a perfectly fine timed blood moon. Make it extra spooky. It had a few hiccups, mainly at the start with the taking out of the first drone, which you're intended to climb up and push boulders onto. However, Lazy Link can simply, though not really simple, but he can simply make some weird jumps to avoid the stamina wheel, then use bombs at the top to take out the drone. The rest were relatively straightforward, using a mix of metal objects to bash them and bombs where the wind was, accidentally use stamina on these stairs, and finally make the last hit on Rudania, letting us inside our final divine beast. Fortunately for us, there is no terminal that even comes close to requiring stamina, unlike Ruta and Naboris, meaning we can safely and easily unlock all 5 of them before facing Fireblight Ganon. No, it's not. I can't reach it. I wish I could reach it, but I can't. Can you go back in the arena? Thank you. What? What do you mean I couldn't lower it before? You think? Oh man, I can't reach it. That's stupid. Why doesn't it fall down? No laser for you. And I'm not joking when I say this. This is the single most important ability for this run, Daruk's Protection. And with the Gorons saved from their asteroid thingies, whatever they are, there's only one divine beast that's left. Small problem, we can't do it. It's impossible without glitches. As soon as the fight starts, we are forced into the paraglider. And yeah, there's not much we can do, unfortunately. So at last, we now must head to Hyrule Castle with only one divine beast yet to be calmed. After 7.5 hours and 3 of 4 divine beasts calmed, all that is left for us is to infiltrate Hyrule Castle, take out Windblight, Calamity Ganon, and Dark Beast Ganon. And while this all sounds simple on paper, Hyrule Castle being infested with guardians and malice makes this as challenging as you can imagine. Filled with hopes and dreams, take it away, Live Val. Thanks for wasting my last protection. I can drop you. I can 100% drop the torch. Ancient arrows, fantastic. Those will be very useful. Will it get rid of this? Oh yeah. Ah. Guardian. No. I'm pressing the button. Ow. Okay, thank you, Mifa. Ow. 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 What am I supposed to do? What do I do? What is it? Aw. Okay. Thank you, Daruk. Boulder Breaker's badly damaged. We didn't even beat one Lionel with it. How is it already badly damaged? It can't survive one Lionel? What? Oh, perfect time, Mifa. I wish I got a headshot. Bye-bye. Why does it do that? Okay, Wind Blight's done. Okay, so there are weapons around the border of the room. Ow, that did so much damage. Will an ancient arrow work? No, okay. Yeah, okay. Alas, Dark Beast Ganon, the final trial before I can say that I can beat Breath of the Wild, including 3 of the 4 Divine Beasts, without stamina or glitches. Now for full transparency, long before I even thought of trying this challenge, I saw a video made by KVNB on how to beat Dark Beast without stamina. This video being in the back of my mind the whole lead up to the finale. But if it wasn't for their video, the challenge would have failed here, and since the method uses ancient arrows, one last shout out goes to the beloved Beetle, as without his gift, this would have not been possible. We have only one shot, one dream, and one world to save for us to be able to defeat the Dark Beast Ganon. Come on, De Quincy. Come on, De Quincy, we got this. Oops. Oh, go Quincy. Come on. We are so close. Yes, I, Faustraküga, after 10 hours, can in fact beat Breath of the Wild without stamina and without glitches. Thank you so much for watching, subscribe if you haven't, also shout out to my channel members, Ahmed who has been here for an astounding 6 whole months, as well as Shadowwind68, and a variety of others who were from gifted subs. And with that, have a good day, and a good night. Okay, before the video actually ends, funny story, so I happened to time the Daruk's protection perfectly to where I discovered a brand new bug. No, it's not a glitch, where the final cutscene is now played at bullet time speed, 20 times slower than it's supposed to, which caught me off guard. Maybe I'll upload it for fun. Alright, goodbye.